Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we got another WWE tier list video here. Basically, we've seen our champions. These are, as you see at the bottom, our current champions across the board from NXT, SmackDown, Raw, and yeah, let's see what they're doing. Like we got basically the top him slash her being their reign's going good. Keep going. We can say then the next is a good run where they've been having good matches. We have the still cooking, which is like, hey, let's just let them have the titles. Let's see what else happens. We'll go still or time for change. Let's see. We put that in there so we get somebody new. And anyone with them is one we really want them to just be gone. So let's go Logan Paul. Logan Paul, I think, is one of those things that a lot of people hated at the very beginning because they didn't like him on the outside. I don't like him on the outside. I think his wrestling in general has gotten better and better and better. The problem is once he got that title, he's just not defended it and not shown up every week. He has been like in the last couple weeks, but as you know, as the making of this video, like we have him with LA Knight. And I guess Santos is kind of there, but LA Knight's the main person. If they do a triple threat, then LA Knight's going to be in trouble. But if they don't, and just LA versus Santos, or LA versus Logan Paul, maybe he'll take the title off. And I feel like that's the right call. I think LA Knight should get the title, and I'm done with Logan Paul as a champion. I think we saw it. It was fine. He deserved it, and I think it's time to just move on out of there. I just realized the tier list is a little off centered, so let me see if I can fix that for you guys real quick. I don't think this is gonna work. There we go. Just couldn't see the titles even though I was just saying them out loud. Next up is Keanu Jordan. She just got it. So I'm gonna just put her in still cooking. I mean, obviously, she just got it. I don't know if she's necessarily the right choice, but she's the first North American women's title. So like, hopefully she can do something with it and hold on to it for a little bit of time. Next up, we get the tag team champs of Awesome Truth. I like the tag team. I like what they're doing, but I don't know if the titles are really doing anything for them, and we're really not seeing them defended that often. I'm gonna put them in still cooking for the time being. I still think we got a little bit left of them, but I really do believe it's time for a change, and I think it's just kind of writing on the wall that they should lose it the next PLE that they're a part of, which probably be SummerSlam, because Miz is from Cleveland, so I have a feeling that he loses it there, or they at least defend it so we can see it. We got the Witches or the Unholy Union. They just got it. We'll just leave them on still cooking. When it's so close, I don't think like we should do anything with titles that just changed because obviously they just got it. So I think they should at least last a couple weeks, and they'll probably be just on a random episode that they'll change, I guess. Next up, we have the NXT champions. Now they're going to be at Heatwave defending it. So I have a feeling there could be a change there. I think they're still cooking. I think they could go a little bit longer. I feel like the tag team division in NXT is pretty sparse. So like I feel like they should hold on to it a little bit longer, and they can maybe hopefully build some tag teams around them and then make the division stronger by them passing the titles. But for right now, I think Axiom and Nathan Frazier are doing a perfect job. Next up, we have the other not NXT, the other WWE tag team champions in A Town Down Under. The way that they're setting it up is, I think, Austin Fury to turn face and turn on Grayson Waller. If that's the case, I'm down. So it's time for a change. I think having that and then having the subsequential rivalry afterwards between the two will be good, and maybe Austin Fury joining the way again, I think could be on the horizon and could be pretty interesting. I think that something like that would be really cool because they're all on SmackDown, so that would be a pretty good way to do it, and a pretty solid faction that I think would be cooking pretty fast. So I think time for change. I don't necessarily know who beats them. Obviously, DIY would be a pretty good choice because they would have the titles, but then it might be make it a little awkward for the story. So maybe we'll see somebody else slide in there. Next up, we have Damian Priest, and he's the World Heavyweight Champion. He just defended it against Drew McIntyre. He's going to be defending against Seth Rollins. This is an interesting one to me because we know that he faces Gunther at SummerSlam, and I really kind of want to see Seth Rollins versus Gunther. So in that feeling, I'm just going to have to go with Damian Priest. It's time for a change. I like Damian Priest as a champion. I feel like he needs that win over Seth Rollins to really solidify the championship. So I'm a little conflicted. I really am. I just don't know where you put him compared to everything else. But I feel like feel like you do the Finn at Money in the Bank. Now there could be some type of storyline that changes up everything at the last minute, but if there isn't, then I'm cool with what we're seeing right here. I have a feeling somehow like Drew's gonna try to get into that and make it a triple threat, but we'll see when it happens. Next up, we got Sami Zayn and the Intercontinental title. This is another one that's weird because I feel like I like Sami Zayn a lot, but I just don't like him as the champ. I just feel like they need to change. But the problem is, I think the ship kind of sailed for me on Chad Gable unless he gets the Creed brothers next week. So I guess that would be the caveat because this will probably be posted Monday and then Raw will be that night. So maybe we'll see something. So if that's the case, then yeah, let's go Sami Zayn. I think it's time for a change. I feel like I don't know, like a lot of this isn't going well for a lot of the champs, but I feel like it is. I mean, he's had some good solid defenses and all that. I think his championship run is solidified as being good. I think he's better to be hovering around the main event scene, and that IC title should go to somebody like Braun Breaker or somebody like Chad Gable that could make it their own and get themselves out of kind of the lower mid card. So I think that would be well perfect. Use that title for that. Next up, we got Liv Morgan, who is the women's heavyweight championship. She is her. She should be up at the top. She obviously hasn't had a lot of defenses and a lot of stuff. I think she needs to have this next match and get one against Zelina Vega very, very soon. Like, hopefully Zelina goes in there and talks to Pierce and be like, hey, you know, I should have been in the Money in the Bank qualifier, but Liv messed me up. She messed me up again. Let me add her. Let me get the fight at her and have it Money in the Bank because we need some good runs under her until we can get to. I'm assuming it looks like they're gonna wait all the way until Bad Blood if they do that pay-per-view in October to maybe have her and Rhea at that point if Rhea's ready. So we'll put her up at the top because I think she should stay put because she needs to have that title for a little bit longer. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is in a similar position to Liv Morgan, like because they have a big rivalry in the future on the onset. They're not going to lose the championship until they have that because he has The Rock and Liv Morgan has Rhea Ripley. So we're not going to see a title change anytime soon between those. So we'll put him up as him. I've liked all of his title defenses so far, so there is no problem with it. I think this stuff with the bloodline right now is going to be ramped up to really put us a good part of the story for the rest of this year. So I think he's going to get a little bit better by having some more hardcore rivalries instead of just fighting the big bad, you know, just somebody that's out there, which I'm fine with too. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with both, but I know for other people needing that bloodline storyline, I think will be a lot better. Next up, we have Trick Williams, the NXT champion. I really honestly don't see anybody being that good of like on his level to like take him out. I think his title run needs to last a little bit longer. I'm gonna put in a good run so far. I think he still needs to be a little bit longer to solidify being like that's him. He's doing it. I think he's definitely one of the best wrestlers down in NXT, and I think it shows with him having that title. But with like Javon Adams and Oba Fetty, like them like right back there, like that should take that next step at some point. I think he should hold on to it a little bit more, have a few more matches with the likes of those guys, and then go from there. Even like Wesley, like there's like a solid four men down there that like should be going for those titles, and I feel like that North American title just needs to be relinquished or like not relinquished, but needs to be split somewhere else so that we have a chance for Trick Williams to get some more blood. But we also have Ethan Page, Sean Spears. Like there's a lot more talent that's working down there and starting to get better. Plus they could put like Karrion Kross from the main roster, like some other bigger guys down there to really solidify that. And I think that Trick should be the one that's in the forefront doing all of that, at least for the summer. I feel like he should hold on to it. Next up, we have Roxana Perez. I love Roxana. I love her title reign right now. I feel like with Julia being hurt, I think that was supposed to be her next big rivalry. Cora Jade would be a great rivalry. She's hurt. She's kind of lacking that big boss. I think like they're trying to let Lola Vice up there, and hopefully she can get to that point to really do it. The Jordan Grace stuff really helped her out because it was like that was another big baddie to go after. But I don't think she has anybody else right now, so I think that's going to be a little bit harder for her. But I'm still liking that she's cooking. She's been great as a heel, so I think she's been working. I'm going to put her up as her. I feel like her run's just slightly better than Trick's right now. It might be a little controversial to say, but I think just with the way that she works out there, it's been really good. I just think she needs a little bit more to work with. Like I think she's already solidified her title run because this is already her other like multiple title runs that she's had. So I think that's why also I think it's a little bit bigger than Trick's. Next up, we have Obafemi. He is him. His title reign has been amazing. His matches, like he's had these amazing triple threat matches that have just been absolutely stunning. He has already grown that title, but he still has it, so he's just been making it better. It's one of those things where, like how Gunther had the IC title, and sometimes those matches were the better ones than any of the championship matches. This is kind of how that is in NXT. Like I feel like his matches are better than the title match, the big title matches, because of what he does in the ring. So I feel like at some point they need to put him in like a 5-man match or something and have two other random people pin each other and he just lose the title that way, and I think it works out. Next up we have Bailey. I feel like Bailey has just had been cursed by booking. I don't think they've really necessarily been able to book her against people that she's been able to just like dominate or really have good rivalries with. I think after this Piper Niven one, I'm hoping she really just settles in and gets one, but it looks like it's going to be Blair Davenport next, which I'm not saying is bad. It's just that we don't know what Blair Davenport in the main roster is going to do. So I'll put her as still cooking, because I think like she still needs to do something to solidify her run, and that's what I think. Now we have Money in the Bank coming up, and the briefcase. There's a lot that can happen. I feel like the women's Money in the Bank briefcase, if it gets cashed in very soon, Bailey's in trouble. Hopefully Bailey has a match on that so she can maybe win one and then get pinned or something, because then that would be pretty dope to have her, hold it for a little bit longer and get one more title defense. But yeah, until next time, this is Japan. Bye, guys.